Different cultures have different names. It was called Upir. In India, we called it Pishach. Then there is Nosferatu. Victims were forced onto massive wooden stakes and left there to die slowly.
Vampire Janata Party. Spooky Silsila. Hey guys, welcome back to Spooky Silsila. I'm Tanmay.
And I'm Niharika, and this is the podcast where we talk about everything scary, haunted, paranormal, criminal,
Illegal things.
weird. Everything that you want to know about, we've got it. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a comment, really help us keep building this space.
Machado.
मचा दो. तू कुछ बोल रहा था, तेरे पास बहुत ही weird चीज थी मेरे को बताने के लिए.
While searching for my story, I found out that in Malawi, there are people with albinism who are targeted by criminal syndicates because there is a communal belief that if they get pieces of their body, they act as good luck charms and tokens to the extent where those people are even cannibalized in there, which was such a random piece of information that I honestly feel ना जान के ज़्यादा अच्छा लगता है.
I mean, fair enough. Because मैंने इसके बारे में एक छोटी सी डॉक्यूमेंट्री या कुछ मतलब बहुत ही छोटा ऐसे स्निपेट्स था देखा था कभी जहाँ पे it was basically the same concept, amputating parts of, you know, people who had albinism in Africa, and those parts were being used in ritual sacrifices to bring people prosperity or whatever it is that they were asking for. But that is a whole belief system.
Humans are messed up. Tagline. Podcast की tagline.
Humans are messed up, sure.
So इस हफ्ते आपकी story है. Where are we going with this?
I will give you one guess.
Okay.
And only, I will say one sentence.
What am I guessing here?
You will know. I will use words.
Okay.
Words will come out of my mouth. And you will guess what I am talking about. You need to name the character.
Character.
Yeah.
Fictional.
Well, not entirely, as
Okay.
you will find out. I am fast. I am shiny.
Sonic.
And I am immortal.
Sonic.
No.
Jesus.
What?
Shiny and fast and immortal. Ninja. It's so vague. What do you mean? Shiny,
Edward.
fast.
एडवर्ड के बारे में बात कर रही हूँ मैं.
छी.
How?
सॉरी मैं आज चैनल डिलीट करने वाला हूँ. ये फिर से वापस आ गया इस चैनल पे. ये
नहीं.
चीपड़.
No. This is a modern day vampire. I want to take you guys down a rabbit hole, which is the origin of vampires as a myth or like a folklore, whatever. Kind of just tracing it through different parts of history. I'm not sitting and telling you about the worst things about it, though there are snippets that I want to tell you guys.
मैं तो बस एक टिप्पणी करना चाहूँगा कि कृपया आप इस चैनल से ट्वाइलाइट को दूर रखिए और अगर
नहीं.
आपको वैम्पायर्स के बारे में बात करनी है तो व्हाट वी डू इन द शैडोज के बारे में बात करें.
Which is also great, by the way. Highly recommend.
जैकी डेटोना.
बहुत ही niche joke. Sorry.
You will love it. Please
Okay,
watch.
please focus everyone. I need to talk about the shiny boys. Well, before they were shiny boys. It's honestly insane how long the idea of vampires has survived. Like, think about it. We live in a world now with DNA testing, MRIs, the internet, and फिर भी the word vampire instantly conjures a very specific image in our brains depending on, you know, our generation. our generation. Some people think of Dracula,
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu, modern Nosferatu. If you haven't seen the movie, great. Please watch
Mentally
it.
ill people who go to Twilight.
Some people picture the Vampire Diaries. Some people immediately think of Twilight and
Some people.
some people and sparkling vampires for absolutely no reason. And some people literally just think of immortal rich people with like emotional issues, which again is still Twilight. But also Dracula, the book by Bram Stoker. But the original vampire stories, like this is pop culture. Let's set this down for a second and actually look at the original vampire stories because बहुत ही different vibe थी. The real historical vampire wasn't attractive. wasn't charming, definitely wasn't standing in like candlelight and being like, date me. हाँ ऐसे मतलब sexy poses नहीं कर रहा था.
ऐसे high school में बैठ के isn't gagging year-old girl.
Basically, right? So original vampire legends were honestly just about dead people that communities became terrified of.
I think you mean undead people.
Not yet.
Okay then.
So these people were regular villagers, your neighbor, your family members, right? Somebody who had already been buried, but who people believed had somehow returned. And the creepy part was versions of these stories existed all across the world. Like, it's not surprising that they existed all across the world. I feel like the human mind does work in a certain direction when it comes to certain things, and it makes a lot of sense that countries all over the world just continued thinking about vampires in like a similar way. It might not be exactly the same things that they were thinking about, but different cultures had different names for them.
That's a very common phenomenon where a common imagery appears across cultures and across. Like a very common example of this is dragons, which are common in very varied cultures all over the world.
Different cultures, like I was saying, have different names for this specific entity. It was called Upir. In India, we called it Pishach. Then there is Nosferatu. It was always rooted in fear of the same thing. Something dead that was refusing to stay dead, especially if you had made it dead, which was a big thing back then. So something dead which was refusing to not stay dead. So somewhere along the way, another figure became connected to the vampire mythology. This is where I want to tell you about a truly horrific era that Europe at some point, specifically Romania, lived through. And this is under the rulership of Vlad the Impaler. And this man genuinely did not need supernatural rumors to sound terrifying. Vlad III ruled Wallachia, part of modern-day Romania, during the 1400s. He became infamous for one specific punishment that he used constantly against his enemies and also his own people. No. Impalement. Which was exactly what it sounds like. Victims were forced onto massive wooden stakes and left there to die slowly. Sometimes over hours or even days. Like there are reports which say that sometimes it took people up to 3 days to pass away on a stake. Historians also have described entire fields filled with impaled bodies. At one point, the Ottoman forces reportedly arrived near one of his cities, and they were unable to carry forward the siege that they had planned because they were so horrified. When they came through towards the city, there was a semicircle of thousands of impaled bodies. Not of just his enemies, also his people that were under his rulership and that just managed to somehow like piss him off. And he wanted to make a statement to like the Ottoman Empire also, and that is what he did. It was a forest of impaled people. And even by medieval standards, people thought this was too much. This was too extreme. And mind you, this was a time where people used to go and watch live hangings for entertainment. Like it was just like a casual hang. Us time pe, very literally. And this is where the name Vlad the Impaler came from. Another nickname that followed him was Dracula, which came from his father, Vlad II Dracul, who belonged to a Christian military order called the Order of the Dragon. Dracul was connected to the word dragon, though eventually the way that the language around it evolved, it also became associated with the devil.
If I'm not wrong, I think the title is also supposed to be the son of the dragon.
Son of the Dragon, and there are places that more formally translate it as the son of the devil. Centuries later, so all of this was happening in the 1400s. Vlad the Impaler was around in the 1400s. But when you jump 4 centuries into the 1800s, that's where, towards the end of the 1800s, you encounter Bram Stoker, who actually wrote Dracula. And historians believe that he discovered the name Dracula during his research and found it powerful enough to use for his fictional vampire, which is where Dracula just immediately became associated with, कि अच्छा ठीक है, Dracula का मतलब vampire.
If he's the progenitor the originator of the word, then not surprising, right?
Now, to be clear, there wasn't like actual evidence that Vlad, the original guy, believed that, he himself was a vampire, or that he drank blood, or inspired any kind of vampire mythology directly. It was something that evolved over 4 centuries and primarily through the work of Bram Stoker
Unless he was actually a vampire who was alive for 400 years.
and became Bram Stoker
Yeah,
and wrote all of this.
it's an autobiography.
Okay.
मेरे को 3 औरतें दिखी बहुत पसंद आ गई शादी करने का मन कर रहा था एक्चुअली वो भी नहीं इट इज जस्ट लाइक अ क्रीपी फैनफिक ऑफ अपना ही गरीब आदमी गरीब वैम्पायर बैठा है अपना फैन फिक्शन लिख रहा है बैठ के मैं राजा था मजा आ रहा था
But basically, what ended up happening that the connection developed later through pop culture, gothic fiction, Bram Stoker, and उसकी वो जो सारी brutality थी and the horrifying legends just kind of came together and made this image, and that became what you think of now as a vampire. It's fully understandable why people ended up connecting the two, because even without supernatural powers, Vlad really sounded like someone who was
Who did
pulled
not
out of a
want to talk
nightmare.
to. Yeah.
Sorry?
You did not want to talk to.
Yeah, he wasn't a chill guy. He wasn't an easy hang.
लग नहीं रहा है इतनी लाशें देख के कि आदमी थोड़ा कैजुअल है
Casual तो नहीं है, because there was this one point where he had a tiff or something with this one specific family. So he took one of the sons, killed him and boiled him alive and forced the family to eat him.
But a version of this that I have heard is that a lot of these stories and rumors about him were made by other this thing क्या बोलते हैं outside ये Ottomans and these people to create a sense of anarchy within his people and he was actually supposedly a decent
तो थोड़ा सा mixed है ये in general response, because he is thought of as like a freedom fighter in a way within Romanian war in some spaces, while others are very straightforward about the cruelty that he did very rampantly display with his own people as well. So when you think about this time period, that fear really starts making a lot of sense, because people hundreds of years ago had no idea how disease worked. वो हाथ नहीं धोते थे भाई, नहाते नहीं थे, उनको जर्म थ्योरी और बायोलॉजी और इन्फेक्शन कौन समझाएगा. So imagine living in like a tiny isolated village where one person suddenly dies and then a few days later somebody else falls sick and then another person and then another person, right? And at some point people are just panicking and eventually someone asks the question, what if the first person didn't fully die? And the whole village just starts viewing death in graveyards and cemeteries, whatever, very differently. Because this wasn't a fantasy anymore, ये genuinely possible लग रहा था लोगों को उस time पे. And then things only got worse, because if these frightened communities then went and dug up graves to find answers, the bodies that they would find often looked horrifying in ways that they didn't really understand. So corpses sometimes looked swollen, blood would appear near the mouth, hair and nails looked longer, some bodies even seemed weirdly fresh weeks after burial. And today we know because हमें decomposition पढ़ाया गया है, but फिर like in the 1700s or like the 1400s or whatever, like anywhere between those 4 centuries, right? There was zero scientific knowledge, especially in this sense. And you open a grave expecting decay, or सामने the body is looking like very, so that's a problem.
It just sounds like we have a lot of illiteracy and uneducated people to thank for a lot of amazing vampire media, because they did not assume they do not understand decomposition, growth, लोगों का cause of death, if they are even dead, and they just are like जादू हो रहा है यहाँ तो.
अरे तो they basically just went like, अच्छा कब्र खोद दी and this person is still active somehow, and they weren't thinking कि oh yes, biological decomposition is taking place.
और more like हमने अंदर देखा और अंदर खरोचे हैं और मुंह में बाल हैं और ये सब है. Maybe this person was still alive when we put them in.
Maybe. I mean, it's because of all of this that the real horror of like vampire history actually begins, and communities genuinely believed that the dead were returning all night and feeding on the living, which is where the also kind of came from. fangs, by the way. Entire villages became convinced that recently buried people were somehow causing disease, weakness, and death around them. और फिर जो हुआ, I feel like काफी brutal था because graves were reopened and wooden stakes were hammered through corpses, heads were removed, hearts were burnt, and sometimes entire bodies were cremated just to make absolutely sure that the dead stayed dead. They thought, they were protecting their families, protecting their children, and trying to stop something that seemed to be spreading through their village without an explanation. They were just like, "ठीक है, we need to do our best," and their best at that point looked like this, right? So it wasn't that they were at that point so aware of the fact that they were feeding a mythology or, vampire history very literally. They weren't scared of the fangs, they were not scared of like capes.
I wonder if that even came into the...
It didn't.
Yeah.
And, they weren't thinking about hot, immortal billionaire aesthetics and modern vampires because that came later.
Billionaire?
Billion.
There is one man who weirdly fits all that description.
Ew.
वो फोटो नहीं देखी आपने जो यार्ड पे ऐसे चौड़ी छाती वाली? ये वैम्पायर नहीं है.
I don't think I can deal with the immortality of it all if he is.
Beautiful.
I don't think I want to live in that world. But let's talk about Europe. Alright? So vampire panic वहाँ पे wasn't just folklore that people whispered about at night. At certain points in history, entire communities believed कि अच्छा ठीक है, vampires are definitely real because the government was involved.
What government?
Of European countries. I'm getting to it. Listen. Government officials wrote reports about them. Priests investigated them and doctors examined bodies. Villagers gathered in cemeteries convinced that the dead were literally coming back at night. A lot of this was happening during the Dark Ages, and some of the biggest vampire scares happened during the 1600s and the 1700s when Europe was kind of, making its way through the Renaissance and...
I thought you were going to say making its way through the list of illnesses that killed people.
The plagues.
Yes.
So people generally thought something unnatural was happening, especially in Eastern Europe, places like Serbia and parts of the Habsburg Empire. Entire villages began reporting mysterious illnesses spreading from house to house. Families claimed recently dead relatives were returning at night to attack people in their sleep. I don't know how they were confirming the recently dead relatives were coming over because obviously they didn't see them. Agli subah they were just like, hi, ye to mummy ne kiya hai. And once the fear started spreading through like a small village.
A question.
Okay.
Was this happening in all the European countries?
Some.
ये clearly एक localized mental issue है जो हमको आज समझ आ रहा है as what was the monkey man वाला nonsense?
No, this is not mass hysteria. Well, it could have been to some extent actually, but no.
But he solved it.
Nobody's asking for the solution. Every unexplained death was just treated as suspicious. If somebody died unexpectedly, vampire. If the body didn't decay the way that people expected it to decay, number one, why are you digging up the body? Stop digging up bodies. Why are you making it easier for them to come and kill you?
You stupid.
I think तब भी लोगों को vampire बनने का था. This is like the beginning of the I want Edward in my life वाला craze.
Not yet. So if the body wasn't decaying the way that it was meant to decay or what they expected it to be like, definitely vampire. Somebody woke up pale and weak and tired or like coughing blood. भाई रात को कोई undead इससे मिलके गया है. Has been touched by the undead.
Coughing blood therefore has been touched by the undead.
Yeah.
Is the undead just a euphemism for the plague now?
Oh no, this is not the plague. I'm getting to what it actually is.
Oh.
Tuberculosis, friends. This is tuberculosis.
Or it was the euphemism for TB?
Yeah, there is no euphemism. That is what people thought it was. What's fascinating is that many of the symptoms that I was describing, abhi, ki pale, weak, is something that you find in actual diseases now, which are diagnosable. But of course, like consumption, or as it is otherwise known, tuberculosis, it was an infection that people did not really understand. People did not understand infection kya hota hai, right? So one family member dies, then slowly another starts wasting away, then another begins coughing blood. And to modern medicine, that is disease transmission. But in the 1700s, people were just like, oh God, what is happening? How are the dead feeding on people so quickly?
ये उस वक्त के doctors seem to hold a lot of the blame.
And that is where like things really escalated fast, right? Officials actually started digging up graves to inspect bodies, और ये सिर्फ random villagers नहीं कर रहे थे. In several documented cases, military officers, government doctors were physically present during these investigations. At one point, vampirism and vampires became an actual bureaucratic issue.
Bureaucratic issue.
Yeah.
Also, everybody was running for office based off of हम vampire को पकड़ लेंगे.
Imagine being a government official in the 1700s and your workday suddenly becomes नहीं चाहिए.
Vampire जनता पार्टी. ये सारे हमारे क्या बोलते हैं पिछले वो हैं. नहीं जैसे इधर होंगी फोटोज हमारे सारे पुराने वो स्टेट्समैन की. एडवर्ड, व्हाट वी डू इन द शैडोज, ड्रैकुला भैया. पार्टी मोटो अगले हफ्ते.
Imagine you're like that guy who's just so tired. He's like, okay, I gotta run this town. But today, what am I doing today? I need to go investigate the dead man that was attacking my village. And around the same time, stories about Vlad the Impaler was still spreading around Europe. So pamphlets describing his brutality circulated widely, especially in German-speaking regions. These stories described mass executions, impaled bodies lining roads, and prisoners being killed in horrifying ways. And the fear of vampires itself was already so deep-rooted in Europe that before Bram Stoker ever wrote about Dracula, nobody had to invent vampire fear. Nobody had to invent how scared people were, because they were just more than willing to save their families by like digging graves and doing the best that they could. Okay. The most famous example involved a guy called Peter Blagojevich in 1725. After his death, villagers claimed multiple people became mysteriously ill and died soon afterwards. Witnesses said that he had been visiting them at night, visiting victims at night, basically. So officials dug up the body and drove a stake through the corpse. According to witnesses, fresh blood flowed from the body afterwards, which only convinced everyone even more that they had killed a real vampire. Because once fear and misunderstanding kind of like combined, this was unstoppable. People just started seeing proof everywhere that they wanted to see proof.
I think modern day we've consolidated all of this together, but तब के लिए तो जो दिख रहा था वो vampire था.
Honey, and it became an explanation for death itself. कि अच्छा ठीक है ये मर गया है, but for how long? But for now, I'm going to talk about America में क्या हो रहा था. Okay? So obviously vampire panic didn't stay limited to old Europe. Even in America, as late as the 1800s, people were still digging up graves looking for vampires. One of the most famous cases is of this person called Mercy Brown, who used to live in Rhode Island in 1892. At the time, tuberculosis was spreading through families, and it was an epidemic वहाँ पे. Historical records do suggest that it was so bad, a lot of families were just overtaken by consumption. So people became pale, weak, thin, exhausted, and would often cough blood before dying, which without modern medicine is very vampire coded anyway, right? So one person dies, then another gets sick, and eventually terrified communities came to the same conclusion that people in Europe had come to, which was just like the dead must somehow be feeding on the living. So after 19-year-old Mercy died,
Wait a second, ये यहाँ पे कुछ तो थोड़ा सा बीच में कहीं जिम्नास्टिक्स हुआ है
हाँ लोगों ने कर लिया था
कि वो लोग आर डाइंग एंड कॉफिंग आउट ब्लड, अर्थात इनको कोई खा रहा है.
Yeah, which is what happened in Europe. उधर भी तो किया था उन्होंने same. Yeah, I don't even blame them honestly.
Maybe you should.
No.
How did they jump to that conclusion?
Yeah, ask them. Exhume their bodies.
Yeah, but मतलब on a serious note, उसको सुन के my assumption was कि when they would exhume those bodies or when they saw the bodies when they died, tuberculosis would have made them so gaunt and so weak कि looking at them their assumption was कि इनके तो खून ही निकाल लिया.
हाँ चूस गए.
हाँ, तो शक्ल देख के लगा इतना चूस गया कि इसको तो उसको कोई चूस ही गया. Vampire.
Got it. So Mercy was 19 when she died. Okay?
82, 83 वाली जॉब.
82 में. 1892 में. And her brother Edwin got worse because tuberculosis spreads through contact. किसी को tuberculosis है और उसने तेरे पे छींक दिया. Okay, so Edwin kept on getting worse, and locals convinced the family that Mercy had been returning from the grave and draining his life force.
Beautiful.
To what end, I don't know, but they decided to exhume her body. Now, because the grave had been frozen during the winter, the body was unusually well preserved. And ये Boston में हो रहा है, Rhode Island में, sorry. It was just very like, oh dang, like this is clearly true. Like our theory, our hypothesis, like ठप्पा लगा दिया, hence proved. तो जो लोग वहाँ पे खड़े हुए थे, what they ended up doing was they exhumed her body, took out her heart, burnt it, and mixed the ashes into a drink and gave it to Edwin, hoping that it would save him. And guess what?
He died.
He died. So this is genuinely like, I feel like the saddest part of vampire history, because underneath all of this horror and what we can now label as stupidity, it was literally just desperate people trying to not feel completely helpless.
अच्छा आपने बोल दिया, मैं भी उनको मजाक बनाने वाला था.
Happy, shut up. And over time, science slowly started explaining the things that people once believed were supernatural. Bodies looking fresh after death, blood near the mouth, hair and nails appearing longer, normal decomposition. Finally, right? Once doctors began properly understanding illnesses like tuberculosis, a lot of vampire mythology suddenly made sense. The curse spreading through families, वो infection निकला, right? No, and it wasn't the dead coming back and trying to feed on the living. And slowly, this belief in real vampires started to fade away. What remains interesting to me is that this belief just faded off in actual vampires, but the fiction of it all, the vampires themselves never really disappeared. They just evolved. It just stopped being a symbol of disease and became something completely different in pop culture, something seductive, something tragic, sometimes weirdly rich for no reason.
Weirdly sexual.
Also, yes.
But जब आप ये चीज now in that direction, what also applies here is it was just that ये fictional creation or this moment where humanity created this fiction was so close to now कि it became pop culture. If it was even older than that, it would have immediately gone to Bhagwan.
Funny.
Because I'm fairly certain there would be, if not Bhagwan, like local deity, entity, creature, वैसे वाले लोग में आ
ने
जाते.
बचा लिया है.
ने उड़ा दिया कि हमने उसको हमने जाके कुछ गलत कर दिया है, उन्होंने मतलब टपका दिया.
I mean, I don't know how we went from disease bringer to what this mythology doesn't have enough of.
Because they did not know what the
Abs.
disease was.
Abs.
सही बात है. Mythology needs more abs.
And like a little bit more chumma chati they added to like this whole mix and package करके सबको बेच दिए. These older societies feared death, disease, and corpses returning from the grave. And modern stories became about immortality, obsession, loneliness,
Desire.
addiction, temptation,
Desire.
even romance.
Desire.
Okay. Which is probably why, these vampire stories never really died. And maybe that's because the fear underneath them is kind of timeless. Not fear of fangs or coffins, but fear of death itself. Fear of losing people that we love and things we don't really completely understand. And honestly, once you look at the real history behind vampire legends, the stories become less about monsters and more about human beings trying to desperately explain suffering, trying to make sense of disease and understand why entire families kept dying with no answers. And maybe that's why vampire mythology survived for centuries across different cultures. हमारे Nosferatu से पिशाच से vampire and everything in between.
Till it finally landed into the horny hands of Stephanie Meyer.
Mormon hands. that's a whole deep dive in itself, which we will not be doing. Thank you.
क्यों नहीं? There should be a special episode.
I will do it.
यहाँ में पिघल गया
देख रहे हो पिघल गए.
Centuries later, we've just sexualized these creatures and tried to date the monsters that we were scared of in the first place. The end. Hello, Edward. Robert
you.
Pattinson, if you are watching,
आपको कौन से वैम्पायर के बारे में सपने हैं?
please subscribe.
आप क्या चाहते हो? इनमें से कौन आपको विजिट करे? प्लीज कमेंट्स में डालिएगा. और अगली बार मिलते हैं. थैंक यू. शब खैर.
Goodbye.